G'day Fab Gang, I'm Joe LaGrasso and I'm here to teach you how to get baked with baked goods. Today we're going to make some white chocolate macadamia nut cookies. I'm pretty excited, I hope you guys are. I've done an oil infusion with the Noids device over here. These guys have sent me out a device and I had to try it out obviously, and I had to make some sort of classic edible recipe, and I thought, what's an Australian edible that I could do? And I don't really know if the white chocolate macadamia nut cookie is Aussie, but macadamias are, so it's Aussie enough for me. So you have to get out your ingredients. I'll have the measurements in the description below, but more or less it's like 2 and a bit cups of flour, bunch of sugar, bunch of nuts. With the white choc, get some white choc chips. I got the buttons because I was medicated at the shops, I guess, and bought the wrong one. So I've just chopped them up a little bit. You'll need white sugar, brown sugar, bit of vanilla essence and some macadamia nuts, bit of salt, baking soda, and egg. Get a stand mixer or a handheld mixer, and into that we're gonna just dump in our sugars. All right. In they go. All right, so I'm gonna put my oil in. Normally when you make cookies, you want softened butter, but when you do cannabis infusions, if you put it in the fridge, it will harden, but when it softens, it just melts. So you kind of can't really get what I would call softened butter. So into the stand mixer that goes, and at a low speed, or with a handheld mixer, you're just gonna go slowly and get these to cream together. So basically get the sugar to dissolve into the butter. So now we've creamed up the sugar and butter. We're gonna add our egg into that, and we're gonna just mix that in slowly. Now, I only had 1 egg. Now, if you have 2 eggs, use another egg yolk in this. Not the whole egg, just the egg yolk. So we're gonna pop that back on. Now into that, we're gonna add a little bit of the vanilla essence, and we're gonna add 2 teaspoons. Into that we need to add our flour, but into the flour mixture we're going to add our baking soda and our salt. And I recommend whisking it in to your flour so that it's evenly mixed in, otherwise you might have little patches. So just stir it through before you add it into your stand mixer or into your hand mixer, either or. All right, so now we're going to add this in. And then we're going to start it slow just so we don't get flour knocking us in the face. We wanted a little bit of milk when it gets to our dough. So now I'm going to just add just a little bit of milk, about a tablespoon. You can use a little more milk if you need to, but this is about using as little milk as possible. This is just to kind of pull it all together. So now we have our dough, and it's looking pretty cool. So let's put in our macadamia nuts and our white choc. But with the white choc, leave just a little bit for the end. And we're just going to stir them through. All right, so now I've got that all incorporated. I'm gonna get an ice cream scoop. It'd be cool if you have one of the ones that clicks it out. But basically about an ice cream scoop or 2 tablespoons. A bit heaped though, we wanna make them pretty big. I'm just gonna get them out, and these are oily, so just try not to touch them too much, but form them into a ball. Pop them onto your baking tray with some baking paper. And I would say you could probably do 6 on a baking sheet, maybe 8 depending on the size of your sheet. But more or less, don't go overboard. You want to give them a lot of space. A lot of space to actually expand because these are going to be pretty big cookies. Alrighty, so I've got a bunch of really big cookies that will happen. These are big cookie balls. Some are a little smaller because they were my last ones. But I'm gonna pop these into the freezer, and I'm probably not gonna cook this many at once. I'll probably do 6. And I'm gonna put them in the freezer for maybe an hour just to firm up. Otherwise you can put them in the fridge for like 3 hours or overnight. But we wanna get the butter to kind of re-solidify just a little bit. It's gonna make the cookies extra chewy, extra gooey, extra yummy. Cool. All right, I'll see you guys soon. All right, so I've decided to actually put 1 tray in the freezer and 1 tray to go in immediately so we can see the difference. I think that's gonna be a bit of fun. So these ones are going in for 10 minutes at 180 degrees, but at about 8 minutes, I'm gonna pull them out and have a look, and then I'm probably gonna put a little more white chocolate on top, and then pop them back in for about another 2 minutes. Cool, all right, I'll see you in just a little bit. All right, so I've just taken the cookies out of the oven, and now we're gonna just leave the cookies to sit for about 5-10 minutes on the baking tray. And then we're gonna transfer them to the cooling rack. We wanna leave them to sit because these cookies are super, super soft. And if I already started touching on it, it started to fall apart. We don't want our cookie to fall apart. So we let it cool down a little bit so that the butter kind of comes back in together, and then we'll come back and we'll move them to the cooling tray. All right, so now I've got the frozen dough. You can see these are easy to pick up, and I'm gonna see how that goes. So now myself and my camera person are gonna try a cookie. Which cookie should we try? The broken one or the best one?
Or the melted one.
Yeah. Taste test. Cheers.
Cheers.
And that's the exact moment the microphone decided to die. You don't get to hear our reactions, unfortunately, but I think you can tell this was a bloody sensational cookie. Absolutely loved it. Perfectly divine. The melted chocolate on top was awesome. It was actually quite a little treat to not completely melt the chocolate and put a little on at the end. Anyway, guys, let me know what other kind of cookie edible recipes you would like me to do. I love to cook, so drop it in the comments. Until next time, stay fab, and I'll see you soon.